This is the road to Mount Yibby. The trees. Now let the fighting begin, the bloodletting. And just then the Hallett wind kicked in, and you could see the seeds flying to General No. 4's Lonely Pine on the trail behind Mount Bryan. Freak accident was how the story went. 2 walkers killed asleep in their tent by a falling tree. How it fell, no one could see. Travellers were assured by the Department of Tours that it had never happened before and it would never happen again. But then, as unlikely, another 3 on the Mawson Trail, dirt bike riding, another tree, unusual timing, catching them mid-peloton. Ghost Gum Branch fell on the trail just when they failed in their concentration and they were all impaled. Tame Impala played at their funeral and the SA Premier gave the oration. At the service he announced a memorial, a brand new Mawson Trail bike wash station. Could have stopped there, but one more, a car accident on the turn off to Clare. A Ghost Gum Branch again. It fell at twilight. There was a pile-up that continued despite the orange cones and flashing lights the cops put up. Drivers so sure. Drivers driven this road 1,000 times before. The final death count was 24. There were calls to ban the Dares Hill race in the face of such a tragedy. Goiter economic needs, especially after COVID-19, were taken into Council's accounting department, who decreed the event should proceed. I laughed with glee. Do you have to be? Philby asked me. It's unseemly. You're like Dick Dastardly. No, I am not, I tell him. You failed again. I'm like Muttley. See, Philby didn't have a TV until he was 17. Had to watch TV up the street, so his TV knowledge is not complete. Neither is his ability to follow a narrative of a story. It makes him nervy. He always thinks he's missing something. So what happens next, he asked me. Just wait and see. The generals are the same as me, quietly celebrating a well-earned victory. The failure of the enemy to take heed is actually part of my strategy. The number of people killed collaterally increases our message exponentially. See, it says, they only think materially. But a little birdie told me, said General No. 3, that Council were threatening to chop down every ghost gum from here to Kingdom Come. Just like the Nazis, says General No. 5. That won't be happening, I tell them. The environmentalists will come. They've already arrived. They're already gathering with flowers in their hair at the turn-off to Clare to stop it happening there. Steady, now steady. Now is the time, like Johnny Cash, to walk the line. Not for a woman or love or drugs, but this place itself. Draw a line between Australians and those colonising thugs who are still detaining people until this day in droves. The dirty drovers, dogs. They must be stopped. Stopped or dropped or rolled from a high point on Dares Hill Drive, they certainly were. Inside cages, the drivers, for the most part, survived, but the spectators, well, the spectators died. The news crews died too, from channels 7, 9 and 2, fried when the fat fryer blew after a stray tyre flew through a fried food truck window. There was plenty of footage to show, ad nausea on TV. The growing tally, counted daily. Journalists aplenty with televisual history to fill the airways for days. Philby asked me, "Are you actually happy?" I was happy. I thought maybe Julian Assange would be freed with all this gushing on primetime TV about how vitally we need journalism. As for the rest of them, the so-called civilians, those who weren't TV personalities, flattened, burnt, the crushed and the explodees, well, there was less of them to see. "You're cackling," Philby said to me. "You are like a witch, like witchy poo." "Take it easy, dear. I'm not the producer here. It's you who are HR puffin' stuff. Can't get a little 'cause you can't get enough." Philby turned the TV off. But it was the talk of goiter as rubberneckers loitered along the Dares Hill Drive courses, macabre holiday choices that could be exploited. Nighttime tourists taking photos for their social media posts, #goiter ghosts. Phoebe and I stay inside, not hiding exactly, but the farm's not ready for tourists, and besides we disagree on whether the killings could stop yet. "How," I ask him, "could that be? You've been here from the start with me. Remember me saying that my revenge is happening on Mount Brian?" "Still," he asked me, "you know that doesn't have to be. Could be reconciliation." "That's you, Philby, not me, sir. You are the Nazi appeaser." But the generals are weary of killing as well, and in the north a dust storm swells, and the olives are flowering, and they don't fight dry north winds well. Before them I stand, the day, like war, is hell.